The notion that the COVID pandemic was triggered by a leak from a lab controlled by the Chinese government was, to a considerable extent, not supported by the evidence. At the beginning of the pandemic, the hypothesis was shot down by orthodox scientists. This letter to The Lancet in February 2020, signed by 25 researchers, was notable and significantly influential. We stand together to strongly condemn conspiracy theories suggesting that COVID-19 does not have a natural origin, while Donald Trump argues the opposite. Have you seen anything at this point that gives you a high degree of confidence that the Wuhan Institute of Virology was the origin of this virus? Yes, I have. Yes, I have. Many people in America and beyond took their cue on what to believe based on what they thought of Donald Trump. We know that it's been debunked. On top of this, parts of a report commissioned by the United States Department of Energy have been found to have been improperly disclosed. The report came to the conclusion that the lab leak was the most plausible theory, but it did indicate this as a low confidence finding. Despite the fact that the report's specifics have not been made public, there are a number of indicators that seem to rule out the possibility of a naturally occurring virus. For example, the structure of the virus differs in some key details from that of other viruses of a similar type. These differences can only be explained by the fact that the virus was engineered. Some researchers believe that by conducting research known as gain of function, in which a virus is purposefully altered to make it more contagious for the sake of gaining knowledge on how to better avoid pandemics, they will be able to learn more about how to do so. Clip of EcoHealth Alliance President Peter Daszak addressing a conference in the year 2016. We found other coronaviruses and bats that were infected with them. Some of them appeared to be very similar to SARS. As a result, we sequenced the spike protein, which is the protein that attaches to cells. However, this work wasn't done by us. Rather, it was done by my colleagues in China. Next, we created pseudoparticles into which we inserted the spike proteins from those viruses. With each step, we moved closer and closer to the possibility that this virus could infect bats and camels, which were quickly discovered. One problem that governments are having to consider is what will happen if they do find definitive proof that a Chinese lab was responsible and, by implication, that the Chinese government has deceived the world. Given the untold damage that this virus has caused, relations between China and the West are poor and deteriorating. For some, it is politically and diplomatically sensible not to dig too deep. For others, the truth must come out.